We look to the heavens, searching for meaning, for purpose, for a glimpse of the divine. Our concept of God becomes a mirror. We see ourselves reflected, our worthiness measured. But what happens when the mirror is warped? When our vision of God is clouded by fear and judgment, the reflection becomes skewed, fractured. We see ourselves not as we are, but as we believe we should be. It is time to shatter the mirror, embrace the true reflection of the divine unconditional love and grace. When our vision of God is distorted, so too is our vision of the world. We see the world through a lens of judgment, of separation, of fear. This distorted lens breeds conflict and fuels the fires of injustice. We see this in the environmental crisis gripping our planet. A belief that humanity is separate from nature has led to exploitation and disregard. The consequences are all around us: a warming planet, dwindling resources, and the extinction of countless species. We see it in the divisions that plague our societies, the chasm between rich and poor, the walls erected between cultures and beliefs. When we view ourselves as separate, as chosen or condemned, we lose sight of our shared humanity. We become blind to the suffering of others, deaf to their cries for justice and understanding. This is not the world as it was meant to be. This is not the reflection of a loving and compassionate God. This is the consequence of a distorted image, a vision clouded by fear and misunderstanding. The parables of Jesus, those timeless stories etched onto the heart of humanity, offer a different perspective. They speak of a God who is not distant or demanding, but intimately involved in the lives of every living creature. Consider the parable of the lost sheep in Luke 15. A shepherd responsible for 100 sheep discovers one is missing. Does he shrug his shoulders, accepting the loss as inevitable? Does he berate the sheep for straying, for causing inconvenience? No. He leaves the 99 and embarks on a relentless search for the one that is lost. He scours the hills and valleys, his heart heavy with concern, until he finds the sheep, bringing it back with rejoicing. This parable, in its simple yet profound message, encapsulates the essence of God's love. It is a love that seeks us out, that celebrates our return, that never gives up on us, no matter how far we may stray. If a distorted image of God leads to a distorted world, then a true reflection can lead to healing and transformation. When we see God as love, as compassion, as unwavering presence, we begin to see ourselves and the world through the same lens. This transformation begins within each of us. It is a conscious choice to let go of fear, to embrace forgiveness, to see the divine spark that resides in every human being. It is a journey of self-discovery, of shedding the layers of judgment and expectation that have obscured our true nature. It is in the quiet moments of reflection, in the stillness of our hearts, that we encounter the divine. Not as a distant judge, but as a loving presence that has always been with us, guiding us home to ourselves. This inner transformation cannot remain confined to the chambers of our hearts. It must ripple outwards, influencing our actions, our relationships, and our engagement with the world. When we see God in every living creature, we are compelled to protect and care for the environment. We recognize that our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for all beings that share this planet. When we see God in the eyes of the marginalized and oppressed, we are moved to act for justice and equality. We understand that our liberation is bound up with the liberation of all. This is the power of a true reflection. It compels us to become agents of change, to be the hands and feet of love in a world desperately in need of healing. Imagine a world where our actions are guided by love, where compassion is the driving force behind our decisions, where justice and equality are not aspirations, but lived realities. This is the world that is possible when we shed the distorted image and embrace the true reflection of the divine. It is a world where differences are celebrated, not feared, where borders fade and walls crumble, replaced by bridges of understanding and empathy, where the tapestry of humanity, woven with threads of diverse cultures and beliefs, is a source of strength and beauty, not division or conflict. This is the promise of a world transformed by love. It is a world that begins within each of us, with the simple yet profound act of looking into the mirror and seeing ourselves as we truly are. Reflections of the divine, flawed yet loved, broken yet whole.